What is going on, guys? BriarRabbit here. Yesterday, Bungie gave us a weekly update, and they revealed that the hard mode of Crota's End is going to be coming out on Wednesday, January 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to getting into the hard mode of Crota's End. I'm really anticipating what the changes are that they're going to make to put the hard into hard mode. I'm really looking forward to this. So, they didn't give us much of a clue. They gave us a few sentences about it, really vague stuff. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about what I think could possibly be some of those changes. Really wild speculation, out of left field, no real reason to think about this stuff. First of all, I'm going to take what they said and kind of interpret it, kind of give you some clues what I think it could be, and then I'm going to go step by step through the raid and give some examples of what could be done to make this a really, really difficult raid. So first of all, let me read off what they said. If you've experienced hard mode in Vault of Glass, you have some clues for how we can scale up a raid. Prepare to take better care of your teammates. You'll have fewer options for healing yourself and each other. The enemies you're about to face are stronger and more prone to temper tantrums. Okay, so there's some clues in there. It's pretty vague stuff, but I think there's actually a lot to unpack. So first of all, if you've experienced hard mode in Vault of Glass, you have some clues for how we can scale up a raid. Well, no doubt about it. I mean, what were the changes we saw to the Vault of Glass? Well, they added the heroic modifier. They also added an additional oracle to accompany the Templar. They added more Gorgons to the Labyrinth, and they added a detain shield to the Atheon encounter. So they went through, made all the enemies harder, and then they added complexity to each encounter. So I think that's what we can see, or what we can expect to see when we see the hard mode of Crota's End. We're definitely going to see the heroic modifier make a return. That's a no-brainer. They refer to it basically twice, the first sentence and the last sentence. The last sentence is, the enemies you're about to face are stronger and more prone to temper tantrums. That says heroic modifier all over it. It also indicates that they are going to increase the level of the enemies up from level 32 to level 33. So they're going to be harder to kill, and they're going to be more aggressive. Great. That's definitely one way to make it hard. But they're also, I believe, going to start increasing the complexity of each encounter. How would they do that? They could increase the distance of the lanterns from each other in the initial abyss part. They could add mechanics to Weight of Crota. Perhaps when you're under the influence of Weight of Crota, you can't regenerate health. You can only do that once you get under the light of a lantern. Or perhaps Weight of Crota could, instead of stopping at 10, could go all the way up to 20. And once you get up to like 19 or 20, you're basically immobile and you die. There's a bunch of different things they can do in that initial abyss sequence. How about the bridge sequence? There's a ton of stuff they could do in there as well. Perhaps they could add a second gatekeeper. So every time you get the sword, you definitely have to kill 2 gatekeepers. We know that's possible, but it's definitely would be hard. Some people still have trouble with 1 gatekeeper. What else could they do to that sequence? They could add more ogres or make the ogres much more difficult. They could definitely add wizards. That would make that whole encounter much more difficult. More Boomer Knights, more Cursed Thrall. They could do that for the initial Abyss part too. I highly expect to see more Cursed Thrall in that Abyss section. How about that little kind of gauntlet run right after the bridge encounter? I definitely could see them putting in more Shriekers, more Cursed Thrall, just making it generally harder to get through that area. Then we come to the Death Singer portion. That is just ripe for new stuff, for new, really interesting play mechanics. What could they do there? They could take away your ability to regenerate health while the Song of Death is being sung, or they could just start taking away your health as that song is sung. That, combined with heroic level knights in there, is going to make that place an absolute nightmare. That, I thought, was one of the toughest parts of the raid before, and with the additional level 33 knights, with the addition of the heroic modifier, if they start trickling away your health as that song is being sung, that is going to be a real nightmare. It's going to make timing an absolute key piece, because you're just going to have to rush through that without making any mistakes. I think that could be a lot of fun, and I could see that really happening. So let's move on to the Crota encounter. What if they added a gatekeeper after the sword bearer got killed? So when you got the sword, after you kill the sword bearer, your sword bearer no longer can just run up and wait for Crota to go down on a knee. He has to take care of a gatekeeper first. This would really slow down the Crota encounter because your sword bearer needs to make sure he takes care of that gatekeeper. Otherwise, that gatekeeper could just run amok in the pit. He could run up, start doing damage to your fire team. Your fire team would have no defense against them because, you know, they can't hurt him. You need the sword to kill that gatekeeper, just like on the bridge. So I think that would add like real complexity. It would really add to the timing and add to the panic of that Crota's End fight. I think that would be awesome. What else could they do? They could add more Enrage and more Oversouls to that entire encounter. I think that's probably likely. They say in the last sentence of this little tip, the enemies you are about to face are stronger and more prone to temper tantrums. Temper tantrums, Enrage mode, I see that as kind of coming in hand. I definitely would expect that Crota is going to enter Enrage mode faster, more frequently, and we're going to have to find a way to deal with it, as opposed to before, where we basically raced against Enrage mode. We tried to kill Crota before he could reach that Enrage mode. I think that we're gonna eventually have to just figure out how to beat Enrage mode, and I think that is gonna be a real challenge. So that's what I got. That's the speculation I've come up with. There's plenty more there too. Let me know down in the comments what you think the hard mode could be. What do you think the mechanics are that Bungie will add to the hard mode? I know that you guys have some great ideas. I want to hear them down in the comments. I can't wait. That's going to do it for this video though. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.